Hello and a very warm welcome to Bhutan This Week with me, Kilatan. Our top stories this week. 7 women candidates elected in the general round of the 3rd National Assembly election. Nearly 85,000 people cast their votes through facilitation booths and increased by some 5,300 voters from primary round. And some security bridge parts being stolen by miscreants poses risk of bridge collapsing. Now the details. The provisional results show 7 women will be in the National Assembly until 2023. This is an increase by 4 candidates as compared to the last National Assembly election. In 2013, of the 11 women candidates in the general round, 3 were elected.
Chawang Hlamo, Yishadim, Dechinongmo, Dojiongmo and Dilmaya Rai from Druk Nyamrup Sokpa and Sring Chodin and Norbu Wangzom from Druk Finsum Sokpa will now join the 2 eminent members and 2 elected members from the National Council as women representatives to the Parliament of Bhutan. The 2018 National Assembly elections began with 18 women representatives in the 4 parties of Bhutan Kinyam Party, Druk Nyamrup Sokpa, Druk Finsum Sokpa and People's Democratic Party. After BKP and PDP were ousted, the 10 women were among 94 candidates who were vying for the 47 National Assembly seats. In the first National Assembly election as well, 10 women got through to the general round, of which 4 were elected. Sharab Doji, PBS News.
Some 5,300 more voters cast their votes this time compared to primary round of the election through facilitation booths. Close to 85,000 people cast their votes through the postal ballot facilitation booths and mobile booth facility this time. More than 100,000 voters registered to cast their votes through the facility in the general round of the 3rd National Assembly election.
The voter turnout for the postal ballot facilitation and mobile booths for the general round is close to 83%. It's an increase of by a little over 5% compared to the primary round, which saw close to 78% turnout. During the primary round, close to 80,000 used the service of the total 102,531 registered for the facility. 46,358 female and 38,471 male used the facility to cast their votes in the general round. During the primary round, 44,053 female and 35,462 male used the facility. Of the total registered for the facility, nearly 18,000 did not cast their votes in the general round. In the primary round, some 23,000 voters did not cast their votes even after registering for the booth facility. Lunsi Zongkak saw the highest voter turnout at 95.8%, closely followed by Tsirang. In Lunsi, of the total 970 registered for the facility, 929 turned up to cast their votes. And in Tsirang, of the 1,343 registered for the facility, 1,264 used the facility. Pumtang saw the 3rd highest turnout at almost 90%. 2,276 out of 2,508 came to cast their votes from 10th till 12th October. Thimphu and Paro saw the least voter turnout. A news release from the Election Commission says at the end of each day, the postal ballots cast were handed over to Bhutan Post for delivery to respective returning officers for counting on a poll day, which is on Thursday. Pup Game for BBS News.
Most of the students of Nganglam Central School in Pemagasal cast their votes through postal ballot facilitation booth. They were happy as most of them were exercising their franchise for the first time. But they made the choice by knowing whatever little they could about candidates and parties through internet.
More than 2,000 voters cast their votes in Pemagasal through facilitation booths. Among them are high school students, and most of these students said they knew very little about party manifestos and candidates.
Indira berongadi political mola na misami tuai sinila political nalu yani beudolongagi lefa jo it lefa jo digibe the internet kan ye sinila dina lefa te kondisugi pledges disu ta anazumbe na misami tani sinila Shumamgi ani na bewach mola election na bewach nte ngachi lobda khal na le phaya dizumbe jendigi bete ngachi lu khonsugi ngotire be gachi gachi besugate ngachi lu yanizum lobda na gokap teso chin sejinila khondisugi anzumbe achire lorik na le phajo tere khongi khansede sta bedel tabi anzum chigi ya shetsbela dimache la milalu gila mebarani ngachi lobda na raombe anzum chi lapcho lobda na ra khondisu patisu nyesube ombe anzum chi lapcho achin tianti ansok lejum choni nesnibela.
But they were satisfied that they could at least take part in the process to elect the next government.
Hema dabbe benige rewa sunila anzum choin chungi gokobe mato tabin anzum chi gokap godang pathabi namdiru maigi nemsemi chachi tutubera chibera rangi gamigi anzum biwachin inkile biwache parties la mimala anzum chinagi lejumbe chogin chuchupchi sunibin.
Students also said they would be happy if they are also given the chance to watch live debates on television and conduct common forums in the school. For Dojin Pemagasil, this is Tanin Finso for BBS News.
Constant theft of bridge parts from the security bridge at Gawadung in Samsi has left people confused and upset. More than 100 transom clamps, which are bolts used to support the bridge, have been lost to thieves so far. Road officials fear if this continues, it could lead to the bridge collapsing soon.
This 160 feet Bailey Bridge across the Sukrute River was constructed just over 2 months ago. But for some time now, miscreants have been stealing parts, specially transformed clamps from the bridge. Officials say in just over 3 weeks, almost 130 clamps have been taken away. Officials replaced 120 clamps, but 10 of them went missing again. This non-stop offense has also left locals frustrated. In an attempt to catch the culprits, villagers started to stay on guard at the bridge, but have been unsuccessful so far.
Despite people living across the river guarding the bridge every day, we are losing the clamps. The miscreants might be stealing the clamps at night, although we guard the bridge at night too. We could not get hold of the miscreants until now. Commuters who are aware of the issue will obviously check for the clamps and ply over the bridge, but the ones who are not aware of the problem will cross the bridge without caution and could get in an accident.
For how long will the villagers be on guard at the bridge? It is not possible for me to guard the bridge for a long time, as my home is very far from here. Even if we manage to come here, some people get sick due to change in weather and some for guarding the whole night.
The miscreants do not steal the clamps during daytime, but maybe the people from across the border take them during night. These things do not happen during daytime due to continuous commuters crossing the bridge. Last time we guarded the bridge till morning, and from the next day the new team guarded. But it is not convenient as we do not even have a place to rest here.
The bridge, which was constructed at cost of almost 15 million yutam, lies only a few meters away from the border and about 15 minutes drive from the district center. The Geog authority is looking into what can be done to stop the thefts and catch the culprits. Similarly, more than 30 transport clamps from other Bailey bridges along Samsita-Shichalung-Drungkak Highway were also stolen recently. For Damchezam in Samsi, Sharab Doji, BBS News.
This year, people of Yansibji in Tagana will have to depend on imported rice for their daily diet. They could not restock their annual paddy harvest due to lack of irrigation water.
The shortage of water has affected 22 households in the village in Drujegang Kyok. As an alternative, most of them have shifted from growing paddy to pulses and other cereals in their fields.
We prepared our fields for paddy transplantation, but due to lack of water for irrigation, we could not do it. I planned to sow pulses as well. At the end, I had to grow maize.
Drujegang's Mangmi said this time people of Yongsibi had to share their irrigation water source with another village, which led to its shortage.
We had to share the only source because drinking water is more important, but we are working to resolve the irrigation water problem. We have 2 projects at Pangnathang, of which one has been handed over to the Dzongkhag administration.
With such plans, farmers of Yongsibi are hopeful of being able to continue their age-old farming practice from next year. They are also optimistic of the new government resolving the matter, as both the political parties have pledged sufficient water for all. For Iris Tamang in Dagana, this is Pasung Doji for BBS News.
Once a busy farmland is now deserted and left fallow. Human-wildlife conflicts, lack of irrigation water and farm roads are the main causes. The story is no different in Keni in Tashiansi, where about 1,000 acres of cultivable land is left fallow.
Not many years ago, this agricultural land was used for growing varieties of farm produce. It belongs to locals of over 100 households of Teso Gyok and a few individuals of Khamdang Gyok. But today, the land is filled with weeds. Some have been abandoned for over a decade now. Besides a few empty houses, most of the locals still live here. Villagers say the land was left fallow due to wild animals, mostly wild boars and monkeys, ravaging their crops.
We used to grow crops in the past, but a few years ago we left it fallow as wild boars started damaging our crops badly. Now, if the government could provide us with electric fencing, we are planning to start farming again.
According to Teso Gyok administration, the plan to construct a 10-kilometer farm road to Gongsa was in the 11th five-year plan. But due to lack of consensus among landowners, the plan got cancelled. There are over 100 acres of wetland at Gongsa on the bank of Dangmechu. Today, without a farm road, farmers use horses to carry paddy from these fields. For Pema Thewang in Tashiangsi, this is Tanden Finso for BBS News.
While monkeys, deer, wild boars and even elephants invading crops have become a common problem, farmers of larger Gyok in Tagana are facing a new kind of menace. Their maize crops are being attacked by swarms of rats. Locals and officials are yet to find a solution to this problem.
More than 26 acres of maize fields in Lajab Kyok have been destroyed by the rats this year. It is estimated that farmers in 7 villages have lost more than 30,000 kilograms of maize to the rodents. Losses have been estimated to be around 600,000 ngitam. Despite trying out all kinds of approaches, farmers say the problem still persists.
We see around 3 to 4 rats feasting on a single maize plant. We have even used pesticides, but we could not get rid of them. In one night, they damaged almost half an acre of maize field.
नभएपछि हामीले रातमा टर्च बालेर 4 5 मार्नु भयो मुसाले सारै नै दुःख दियो र भनौं भनेदेखि अब
Rats have destroyed our entire crop this year. In a night, we kill around 400 to 500 rats using sticks, but still, lots of rats come to the fields again. They even attack the maize stored at our granaries. We make lots of noise to chase away the rats, but it does not help. In Barnachiok, we don't even have maize left to be sown next season.
I could not harvest any maize this season. All my crops have been totally destroyed by rats. If there is any compensation, it would be helpful for us. I am worried how we will survive now as we are left with nothing in the field.
This year, rats have destroyed all our maize. We do not even have maize seed for next season. If the government can provide us with some seed for next season, it would help our farmers. As a Tsokpa, I have submitted all the report to the Gyok.
In my Chiok, rats have completely destroyed maize fields in 5 households. We were hoping for some compensation from the government. We have already submitted the damage report to the Gyok, and Gyok has forwarded it to the Dzongkhag.
Meanwhile, Lajap Gabdan Badur Gurung says they have carried out an investigation and forwarded the report to the Dzongkhag office.
After we received complaints from 2 Gyoks about the mass destruction of maize by rats, we have forwarded the case to Dzongkhag after a thorough investigation. We have also provided them with zinc phosphate to kill the rats. We are hoping the Dzongkhag office will come up with some measures for the affected farmers. From the Gyok side, we are thinking of providing them with maize seeds for the affected farmers.
Agriculture officials say rat population increases around this time when it is the bamboo flowering season, although this happens only after intervals of several years. They added villages located near the forest have resulted in rats invading their fields.
One of the reasons could be due to heavy flowering of wild bamboo species in the forest. And also, since Laja is one of the most remote Gyok under Dagana, the land of our farmers are mostly located near the forest, and then so this could be one of the reasons that rats, after feeding on bamboo flowers, could have encroached towards the farmer's field and cause heavy damage to the maize in the field, in the standing crops.
Agriculture officials added they have distributed pesticides and are advising farmers to raise cats and store their crops in tight sacks. Lajap is one of the remotest Gyoks in Dagana with a population of more than 200 households. Besides paddy, people depend on maize for food. For Airaj Tamang in Dagana, Pupkem for BBS News.
Despite good yield, potatoes in Kotaka could not fetch good price for the farmers there. Potato tuber moth, a most widely distributed potato insect in the world, did not spare the crop for the second time since last year.
Potato tuber moth or tuber worm is said to enter the tuber through the eyes, creating a tunnel at the surface or deep into the tuber. Mounds of worm excrements appearing in black at the entrance shows the tunnel. According to studies, these tunnels do not heal and are entryways for diseases, most notably soft rot and dry rot. The insect infested the crop this year, but the damage, locals say, is worse than last year.
deba chimna lu be shile ni ranjera khoragi bitona de chuchi timi tenen galu bu charu be chaptigin be.
The insect infestation began since last year and we couldn't store the tuber as it would rot. So we took it to Finseling but couldn't fetch good price. Those who had good quality fetched good price, whereas ours, infested by the insects, did not.
Even if we wish to sell, the infested tuber outweighs the good ones. And even the good ones didn't fetch the price we expected. Once it's infested, we cannot even store as seed. The Agriculture Department did intervene, but the insecticide they provided didn't help much. It would be better if they can come up with another measure.
Despite good price for the tuber at the auction yard, the crop from Kotaka couldn't fetch good price and people are not happy about it. An alternative to avoid insect infestation could be to change the seed or leave the fields empty for a few months.
Dzongkhag's Agriculture Extension Supervisor attributes the insect infestation to seeds bought from low-altitude regions. There are over 100 households here, and potato is their main source of livelihood. For Sangye Wongmo in Wandifoda, Pup KM for BBS News.
Housing crunch in Trongsa town is becoming worse by the year. It often takes months for one to find an apartment. And as the market forces work, the shortage has led to soaring house rents. With limited houses in the town area, people have to live in places away from the town. Many are also forced to put up with their relatives or friends for months while looking for an apartment.
It's been 3 months I've been here. For the first week I have been struggling for house because housing problem is one of the issue which is being already there in Trongsa, and after discussing with my parents and my families and all, and including my friends, I got a house which is far away from my office. Actually, I thought of having my residential area which is located near my office.
It took me almost 8 months to get a house for my business. The housing problem here is severe, and I think it's mainly to do with the ongoing hydropower project in the district. And even when we get one, the house rent is really high, like in Thimphu.
The population has increased and many new offices have come up. This has led to housing shortage and rising house rents. Moreover, the house owners rent apartments as office space or to those who can afford. So those in the middle and low income groups are bearing the brunt.
Currently, the Dzongkhag Municipality Office has no other plans besides extending the existing town till Yuling.
The housing problem has been the issue in Trongsa since last few years, and I believe it is mainly because of the two ongoing hydropower projects in Trongsa. And because of this, because of the two ongoing hydropower projects, the housing shortage issue has also surfaced up, and that's where the planning for the extended town came up.
The shortage is expected to be addressed once the two ongoing hydropower projects in the district are complete. Today, there are 34 concrete buildings and 42 traditional Bhutanese houses in the town area. For Pasa in Trongsa, Kilitem, PBS News. With entrepreneurship culture gaining popularity and seeing significant growth in the country, there still remains a challenge of capital and institutional support to promote and encourage entrepreneurs. So, with an aim to help the existing entrepreneurs to accelerate their businesses, Druk Holding and Investments launched the first ever Business Acceleration Program, or BIZAP.
The training targets those entrepreneurs who already have businesses or those who are in the advanced stage of launching their business. The training incorporates learning and networking tour. 25 entrepreneurs will undergo 3 months training by global experts in innovation and entrepreneurship. DHI will provide financial support to entrepreneurs completing the BIZAP. Moreover, the program will help establish mentoring relationships with experienced business people to help entrepreneurs in running their businesses successfully.
BIZAP is going to help the existing entrepreneurs, especially in the fine-tuning their business models, and then to assess their carry out their market assessment intelligently. If you actually look at, and then if you actually talk to the first cohort participants, what we have realized is that they are in business for last 5 to 10 years, but now they have hit the ceiling, and then they are now confused as to how to move forward. So what we are going to do is, this program is going to help them refine and then sharpen their business model so as to move forward.
Once the training ends, DHI will monitor and evaluate performance of the entrepreneurs and their businesses to ensure the success of the venture. Sunampem for BBS News.
That's all we have for you this week. Keep yourself warm. Until next time, goodbye.